and welcome to Motor Candy. My name's Carl Lee. I'm a motorcycle concept artist, and 2 years ago this bike was just a few pixels on my computer screen. This is the story of how I came to help design the $125,000 Audette Velos. This is a story of a naked V-twin superbike that started from a pencil sketch on a bit of paper to a Photoshop render that I created before being built for real. I flew to the USA from England, met with the builder and took the bike for a ride. But first, a little bit of background about me. I've been creating motorcycle concept art for over 15 years for magazines, websites and custom bike builders. Usually it's a paint job here and there, maybe a few modifications to a bike, and it's great to see some of the bikes I've visualised come to life. But seeing this project come to life has been truly next level. So let's begin at the beginning. The Velo story, for me at least, starts back in early 2020. I got an email from a guy who wanted to build a bike from near enough nothing. Tony Audette was that guy, and he has a background in the motorcycle industry, previously building bikes at Confederate, then Curtis Motorcycles. He now runs a successful business making aftermarket parts for Indian motorcycles. Tony had an idea of a bike in his head and he wanted to get that idea out so he could see it properly to build it. He sent me a pencil sketch on some graph paper and that was enough for me to get started. The bike would have a tuned Thunderstroke engine and this would sit in a custom made alloy swing arm and frame with BST carbon fibre wheels at each end. The inspiration would come from early 1900s American motorcycles such as the Ivor Johnson, but with true modern day handling and performance. So over the next few months I created version after version after version of the bike. Some had different swing arms, different exhausts, frames, detailing and paintwork just to see how the bike would look. Once I'd visualised enough of the bike in 2D, Tony remodelled it in 3D, then printed sections of the bike out to make sure it looked and felt right before building it for real. Finally, the prototype was finished and ready for the road. Tony invited me to ride the bike if I was ever in the area, which was lucky as I was going on holiday and would be in New York City, which was just 2 hours drive away from Connecticut where the bike was. We arranged to meet up, and here's how it went. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I just got up, and I've got to catch an early flight to New York, and then I'm gonna go and see Velos. It's gonna be good. They've changed.
Is that Times Square?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm in New York City. I've just checked into the Sanctuary Hotel near Times Square. I'm going to be meeting Tony Audette from Audette Motorcycles, who in collaboration with, I helped to design a motorcycle, an all-American superbike called the Velos, or Velos. And it's an Indian powered V-twin. It makes 128 horsepower and 150 foot-pounds of torque, so it's an absolute torque monster. I'm going to be jumping into a van with a guy I've never met, never actually spoken to, but we've obviously messaged and stuff, and we've worked on this project together, and I'm going to be riding the Velos and seeing it for the first time in the flesh. So really looking forward to it, really anxious, but yeah, excited. There he is.
What's up, man?
Tony!
How are you?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Right, I'm gonna get in. Tony Audette.
What's going on?
And we're in Times Square. We're here and we've got a little friend underneath the, oh look at that. Fantastic. The Audette Motorcycles Velos.
You buy one, you can say it however you want.
Yeah. It was only a couple of years ago, this bike was just a drawing on your piece of paper, and now it's real. Gotcha. It was surreal seeing the bike in the flesh. I'd only ever seen it as a flat 2D image in Photoshop, and in reality it was so much better. I could touch it, I could hear it, I could even smell it, and it looks so much more aggressive too, with real attack stats, like some kind of warrior ready to go into battle. Oh, these are the tiniest indicators on the planet, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what the intake here does is that there's actually a tube that goes inside.
Yeah.
And it dumps out under here.
Yeah.
On top of the rear cylinder. So we got the cylinder heads vented.
Yeah.
So that way it can get air passing over through the top.
So it's an extra bit of cooling for that rear cylinder.
The rear fender itself is actually adjustable with your wheel itself. So that way you can maintain the concentricity throughout it.
Yeah.
And we may even made these bolts here. So they're like a reverse Torx, but you can use a standard ratchet socket on it.
Okay.
But the little mark there lets you keep it in a line here.
Yeah.
And it also on this side acts as your chain guard.
Tidy. The attention to detail is astonishing, really. This engine has come out of an Indian. So
Right.
what was the Indian that it came out of?
So this motor in particular came out of a 2016 Indian Chief Classic.
Yeah.
It started off as a 111 cubic inches, so
Yeah.
right around 1800 cc's.
Right.
And then it has brand new heads, completely redone systems, new valve springs,
Yeah.
beefier push rods. It's been internally balanced. We did bore and stroke, so rather than
Yeah.
111, it's 126 cubic inches, so it's 2064
It's just over
cc's.
2000 cc. Right.
It has 6 gears. It's a semi-dry sump, which means the oil tank's actually inside the engine.
Yeah.
And the oil is used for not only lubricating the transmission, but also all the gears and everything. And rather than sitting in a bath like Harley has to or to reduce friction, they actually have injectors.
Yeah.
So it's not trying to fight as it goes through the oil. And there's injectors that spray it on the bottom of the pistons and then into the cam compartment. And it's all internally balanced. So really the only thing that's left stock Indian are the actual two engine cases.
Yeah. And am I right in thinking that this was originally a belt drive engine?
It was
Yeah.
originally a belt drive engine, so we had to make a chain conversion kit for it.
Yeah. What sort of power and torque would it be making as standard?
I want to say it was somewhere around 90 horsepower
Yeah.
and 112 or 115
Yeah.
torque.
Oh, that's a big increase in horsepower and a massive increase in torque,
Right.
isn't it? Yeah.
And the big thing about the torque curve that we wanted it to be almost completely flat torque curve. So no matter when you touch the throttle, your power's instantly on.
Okay. A standard Indian, weight-wise, what would it be?
The one that this came out of was just over 800 pounds.
And what is? Have you had a chance to weigh this?
It weighs 486 pounds as it sits.
That's a hell of a reduction. And of course, you've got carbon fiber wheels on there as well, which are going to make the bike feel even lighter on the move.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tony has given me the keys, or should I say, the key fob to the Velos, and we're going to take it for a spin. Let's go up there, shall we? And it sounds phenomenal! Putting the animal into phenomenal! really light on its toes. It's really light on its feet, considering that's a heavy engine as standard, and it just feels quite agile. I think pulling out of corners is where it really come into its own. The riding position is right up my street, because I like naked bikes anyway. I've got an Aprilia Tuono V4, and it's a similar sort of it's a similar riding position. The width of the bars as well give you all that leverage, so you can really throw the bike around, and the tank's quite narrow. It reminds me a bit of 916 tank, the fuel tank, and some of the MV Augustas will go really narrow. Yeah.
Because you saw my hand drawing, it looks nothing like this.
Yeah.
And then the design kind of grew into itself, and we talked back and forth about what to do.
Yeah.
And then as the design and everything takes shape, we refined it from there together.
Yeah. It's funny, but I look at your original drawing of this, and so much of it has come true though. So much of it is exactly how you saw it, isn't it?
Yeah.
From the wheels to the shape of the, it was just a side-on sketch of a frame and a tank shape, a rough tank shape, and we were playing around with how this was going to work and whether it was going to be adjustable and
how this tank looks, getting this angle right.
But actually, your initial sketch, I guess all I did was add a bit of flesh to the bone.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? That's all I did.
You added reality to the pencil drawing.
And then you made it better than the visual.
It sounds stupid, but I feel like all I did was copy the drawing. Copy the rendering.
You must be proud of what you've built here.
I am. It's still surreal.
Yeah.
I get on it. I get on any other motorcycle that I have or ride, and I wonder why I'm riding a motorcycle. Because I'm not on this one.
Yeah.
It's just that much fun.
Yeah. And this is, you wanted a bike styled like like an Ivor Johnson from 1917 or something like that. And you've got a 21st century version of it now.
Because the whole idea was, because everything's so, you're connected with everything. I don't want to be connected with my motorcycle. I don't want my phone to talk to me through my motorcycle. I don't want ride command. I don't want it to tell me everything. I want to be in control and separate from everything else and focus on riding and tearing roads up.
Yeah.
And that's what this is built for.
Yeah.
That's what I want. And I think I nailed it. But I think we nailed it.
Yeah. It's fair to say that that's like nothing else I've ever ridden. It's phenomenal. It's just makes you feel really, really alive. The power it has, it'll out-drag anything, and it'll make you smile when you're doing it. Strangely, I'd really like to take it on a racetrack, because I think it would do well on a track day. It's got the performance to back it up, to back up the noise it makes, and it makes a hell of a noise. But I'll keep that as a fantasy for now. Right. So I just got back from riding the Velos, the Audette Velos bike, and I've got to say, it's better than I ever thought it could be. I rode the bike for about an hour, followed Tony in the van for a little while, and then I went off and did my own thing for another little while, and I had a chance to open it up, and it was amazing. 128 horsepower doesn't sound much, but it is, and when you throw in 150 foot-pounds of torque as well, you get drive, just instant drive, out of any corner. It was amazing. It was so smooth. but at the same time lumpy enough to really feel the characteristics of the engine. It handled really, really well. I didn't get to any real twisty sections of road, but I could tell from previous experience on other bikes that it would hold its own for sure on a twisty road. It just felt really flickable. The wide handlebars gave you good leverage. The centre of gravity was quite low. The brakes were astounding, and the bike felt really firm, like it was set up for it was set up like a track bike. It felt really firm. You got loads of feedback. He's only planning on building 7, Tony is, this year, and I believe he's sold a couple already. So I think there are going to be some happy Velos owners, and the thing just looks fantastic as well. I created a visual from Tony's original pencil sketch, and he's turned my pixels into this incredible creation, this incredible motorbike, which it's just gone beyond what I thought anyone could have done with that visual. And it looks like a piece of art, but it rides like a proper superbike, like a proper sports bike. And Tony and his team can be really, really proud of what they've built, and I wish them all the best. That's it for now.